So it's Emanuel Asare, and we're here with another episode of My Truth. Today, our guest star is Sevdar Bokciu, a player who had a sort of wonderful team career at Charlton. And we're going to learn about that journey and all the ups and downs he experienced there, and then learn a little bit about what he's doing now after he's come out the game a little bit and his intentions to get back in. So introduce yourself, Sevdar, and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing right now as we speak.
Yeah, I'm Sevdar Bokciu, originally from Albania, 24 years old. Just at the moment, just working, trying to keep busy. Obviously, falling in love with the game again. As I stand, I'm playing for Enfield Borough, a great team. Yeah, just trying to fall in love with the game again.
Okay, so we say fall in love again, which suggests that you fell out of love. So we're going to talk about your story. Every boy's dream is to potentially, and I say every boy, but every boy that's interested in football, their dream is to get signed, join a professional football club, work their way through it, and one day become a professional footballer. That happened for you, you know?
Yeah.
Believe 7 years old, playing for the Bailey brothers at Interwood.
Yeah.
Obviously being a little superstar there, getting signed. Talk us about that journey. How did you go from being a Sunday league, you know, playing youth football, to then getting approached to joining a professional football club?
Yeah, I remember just playing around with my friends in the cages and that. And then Trevor Bailey popped around, and then just went and trained with him for a little bit. Signed with Interwood. Just obviously we're still young, messing about. I think we went Butlins a few times as well.
Okay.
Won two tournaments. Yeah, won a few tournaments. And then I think we started playing a few more games, this and that. And then a guy from Charlton approached me. At the time, I wasn't very familiar with Charlton.
Okay.
But then I knew they were in the Premiership at the time. I think Alan Kirbishley was the first team manager. And obviously Charlton was a big club at the time.
Okay.
And I said to my dad, I rang my dad up. I went home and I said, look, Dad, I think Charlton are interested in me. So he's gone, all right. But obviously my dad not having a big knowledge of the football game, he's gone, oh yeah, we need to who first of all, he said, who are they? And I said, Premiership team. He's like, all right, let's go there. So I think I went there Tuesday night. I think we trained in the Dome, but it was completely different. So I went there.
In terms of, when you say different, what are we talking about?
It was different. Like Interwood was more like you go there and you see your mates. And like, well, what's going on? You're right. I know we're young, but we're still messing about, talking about games and this place. And then you go there and everything's more serious. It's a professional setup and that.
Of course.
I remember training, and then I thought, flipping hell, hey, you need to be on form here. You can't afford to come here and mess about here.
Yeah.
But I done well, and I think I was always like well committed to what I'm doing, and I was a leader. I feel like I was a leader. Even I know it's a young age, but I feel like I was a leader even then. I remember telling people that I've been there for a long time. I remember telling them, "Oi, come on, level up." And I'm like, and then imagine love that. He's like, flipping, it was his first day here, and he's telling people already. But I think I was just doing that out of my character.
Of course. And that. Yeah.
And then I think it was about 2 weeks. I think it wasn't even 2 weeks. I think it was about five days or something. And it goes, you know what? We're going to sign a contract. And I remember going home and I started laughing. Said to my dad, signing a contract. I'm 8 years old. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was it. And then went training again the following Tuesday after that. And then signed the contract. I don't even know what I signed. And then just signed the contract, and that was it. Got given a Charlton tracksuit, kit, and I went home. I was absolutely buzzing. Night tracksuit, this and that. And then I remember going home and actually just trying it on and just taking a picture of it and going, this is a cool tracksuit.
So you say going home, who's at home? How big is the family?
Home. Obviously, lived with my parents at the time.
Okay.
My older brother. Okay. And a younger brother. Yeah, I think he was only 2 at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the gaps?
Yeah, older brother was 4 years older than me. Okay. And my little brother was 6 years younger than me, 7 years younger than me, yeah.
Okay. Mum and dad, are they sporty? Did they have a football background or athletic background? Any sort of sport?
My dad hasn't played himself, but he was always a big fan of the game. Okay. I mean, but he's never known like the contract sides of it. Like when he heard contract, he wasn't really sure what it was about, but he's always loved football. Do you know what I mean? I remember even because obviously I came here when I was 3 years old from Albania. I was born in Albania. I came here when I was 3. Okay. But I remember even like when I was playing, he still used to watch like football teams playing back home and that. And he's always loved the game, but he's never sure of like what does that actually mean, getting a contract somewhere. And just at the time, I was just playing because I really enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it all began, just enjoying playing football.
Cool. So we're 9 years old. We're a signed academy player.
Yeah.
How many days a week training, and who's taking you training, and what sort of commitment levels did you see?
3 times a week training, and a game on Sunday, and my dad used to leave work early to take me. My mum sometimes used to take me on the train. And obviously at the time, you're not really thinking what they're actually doing for you. You just think they have to do it for me because it's my parents.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? And you're not actually really thinking, flipping, no, my dad's just left work early 3-4 times a week. That's costing him so much, but petrol, this and that. And you don't even realize, obviously now that I'm 24 years old, you really think about them kids. Yeah, but at the time you just think, yeah, they're taking me. My mum was taking me.
Of course.
Playing away games, home games, flipping. It was very intense.
Intense, yeah.
Very intense, yeah.
So you're in the system, you're training, you're doing well. At what stage there's this turn from being just another football club? Because at that stage, it's just a higher level of Interwood for you. You're playing football. At what stage did it dawn on you that I'm in the process, the vehicle to become a professional footballer? At what age do you think you started thinking about that?
Do you know what? I think that was actually quite early on, because even at that under 8s, when I signed my first contract, I remember towards the end of the season, there was a rumour about, are we going to get another contract? I thought I signed a lifetime contract. Do you know when you don't know, like, you don't know what a contract is? I thought I signed a lifetime contract.
Yeah.
So I'm there, I signed a contract, and then towards the end, like 5 weeks, we got, every year you get given a report. So there's like, it will say like header in, 10 out of 10, whatever, whatnot. And then I'm thinking, flipping, I'll sign a lifetime contract, and then I'm there, and then there's a chat about, oh yeah, my dad gets a phone call saying we've got to have a meeting about if you've got another contract.
You're gonna get it.
And something hit me. I've gone, but no, if you don't perform, you're going to get released.
Okay.
And that's when I thought, this is actually
that happened for you quite early on.
Quite early on, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I thought, this is actually steps to becoming a professional footballer. Because at Interwood, you feel like, I'm never going to get released, because even if I'm on the bench, I'll still be part of the team anyway.
There,
you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it hit me quite early on, knowing that, this is a step forward to becoming a professional footballer, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I remember my times as a coach. I used to work for Brentford, and then obviously I still do bits for Wickham now. What I saw from the parents is the parents didn't know about the journey.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is you're going up and down the country, taking your 9-year-old, your 10-year-old, your 11-year-old, your 12-year-old. And all of this, like you said, each year you've got to get a new contract, And then at some point you realize, actually, I'm doing all of this because at 16, this guy has to get a scholarship. Yeah. Do you understand? So it's another step in your journey. So at what stage did that dawn on you that, you know what, I'm not just here to play week in, week out. I've got to be one of the ones that gets a scholarship at 16. At what stage did that kick in for you?
I think that was I would say, being realistic, about under 14s. And that was only because I remember watching the under 18s, and they had like a separate pitch to where we used to play.
Okay.
And I remember them coming out with their little wash bags. I thought, I want to get there. Like coming in, parking their cars, coming out with a wash bag, going into training. And I remember we used to go and watch them on Saturdays as well, because we used to have a morning session, and then we used to finish early and then go and watch the under 18s.
18 game.
But not when we was really young. I think that happened about under 14s. Because under 8s, we used to just go home ready for school, and under 14s got a bit more serious. And then that was the only time I thought, flipping hell, I actually want to, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Obviously a few fans on the side. Of course. Watching, quite a few people watching. And I thought, I like this. I like the look of this. And I want to be there.
Yeah. So now you're getting closer. When do Charlton tell you, Sev, we like you, we like what you're doing, you're one of the scholars? When does that happen?
That is under 15s, under 15s / under 16s. My dad got a phone call, said, look, we need to have a meeting with you. It was after the game. After the game, I remember I thought, I need to play well today, because I don't know what the meeting could be about. Everything was going through my mind anyway. But obviously not getting released was going through, because I was captain at the time, so I thought I must be doing something right. Do you know what I mean? So I remember going upstairs, sat down in the office and said, look, we're going to give you a pre-contract, meaning when you do turn day, you signed a scholar.
Yeah, of course.
And straight away I put pen to paper, not thinking, hold on a minute, is this the right club? Looking at the people around me. Will I be in this first team, considering the people that I've got playing alongside me at the moment? Of course. So I just put pen to paper, and I think it was probably one of the happiest days of my life at the time. Going to school, I remember telling all my teachers, like, I'm going to be a scholar. I've just been offered a scholarship by Charlton, and telling all my friends, and thinking everyone loves you, but not everyone does. It's all, do you know what I mean?
It's all part of it.
Part of it, yeah.
Of course. So So we're 16, pre-contract, we're going to be a scholar. You talked a little bit about going to school. What were your friends like? What were your friends like? You know, some friends are with you, like you say, supporting your journey. Others a bit envious, potentially.
Yeah.
What were you like? Were you always going to school in tracks? Like, what was it like for you? Did you feel already you were living a different life to your peers, or were you still the Sev that everyone knew 5-6 years ago?
I'd like to think I was always quite humble, to be fair. Like, I would always come back from Charlton back to the ends, Wood Green, obviously, come back and chill with my friends. Like, if they're going somewhere, I'll go with them. And that's how it always was for me. I would never come and be like, you know, I'm a Charlton player, I'll do what I want. Yeah, no, I had some real friends around me. But then the older I got, I figured out there was a couple friends that they weren't really friends. But obviously I didn't know at the time.
Yeah, of course.
That were just there because they thought, you know what, one day he's going to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. Because, you know, back in the day, it was all about Cristiano Ronaldo at Man United, this and that. But not knowing what I'm actually going through. I remember times where I'm finishing school and I've got detention and I'm like begging the teacher, look,
I've got
to get to training. And I remember just leaving. Like, all right, you're going to keep me down, I'm going anyway. Running for the bus to get to the train station and get to training. Yeah, and like a lot of people don't even, because like my friends would finish school and be like, oh, look, come, we'll go football today, mess about. Whereas me, I'm not doing like, there's no time for that. I'm just trying to get to training and not be late and show them that I want this. Do you know what I mean?
Fantastic, cool. So there's a lot in the media right now around racism. We're taking the knee, we're doing all of that stuff. On your journey, I know you were young, you were in there from 9 to 16, so I don't want you to go into the scholar part yet, but in that 9 to 16, were you aware of race at Charlton in terms of, you know, what was your team like? Was it a multiracial team? Was it predominantly white, predominantly black, a fair mix? Your coaches, were they all white? Were they mixed? Like, were you aware of race at the club?
No, not really. We had a fair mix of like all different cultures, but one thing that I figured out from quite like really young was when the parents would start talking to the directors, not giving any names out, but they will come in and the director will come in and the parents will go and be like, oh, what's going on? You right? This and that. How's work going? Whereas my dad, English wasn't great. So my dad was more like, listen, if you like the way my son plays, you keep him. If you don't like him, you release him. He was real. You know what I mean? Talking. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh yeah, like, listen, at the age I'm now, you know, how things work, a lot of politics behind football as well, which we're not even going to get into, but yeah, it's like, now I realise like a lot of parents would go out their way to do something for them, like, and then my dad was just there not even knowing, nothing to do with it, just like, look, if he's got the talent, he will get there. If he hasn't, he won't get there. And I think that's got a big, like, major part to play in football. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay. So then you make a scholar. We'll move it on to when you actually make a scholar. I know there's going to be young players, potential academy players watching this, maybe academy players who are already there watching this. Give us a sort of insight into what a day of a scholar looks like, because, you know, there's people out of the game that just think they turn on the TV and they see the end product. Like you said, there's a lot of hard work and graft that goes into it. So just paint us a picture of a one day in the life of being a scholar.
Yeah, life of being a scholar, a long time ago, but going to training for 8
o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning, have to be there for 8. Breakfast at 8:30. I think we had breakfast at 8:30, and then 9 o'clock we'll do everyone had like a job where like that might be pump the balls for the first team, get cones out for the first team, clean the changing rooms, like just everyone had a different job.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then everyone will just get changed into their training kit, start training at 10:30, hour and a half training session, come back.
I just want to deep that. So training starts at 10:30.
Yeah.
But you had to report in for 8.
8 o'clock, yep.
So ready there, you can see how disciplined
they're
trying to make you as a
we had a routine, early, so I had a decent routine, and then that was training. We'll start 10:30, hour and a half, and then after training, first team will finish. So then that means we will go and collect the balls that they've like kicked over, whatnot, collect the cones in, and then we all had a mentor. So my mentor was, I think it was Morrison at the time, a centre half. So I'd wash his boots or something, and then another player will do something, and then they always obviously looked after us at the end of the year, and that was just quite good, like, because you get a close relationship with the first team players. Not many clubs do that, so in that aspect, it was great. Do you know what I mean? I like that, and so we'll do that, and then what we'll do is we'll have our lunch, and then we'll have a gym session. Okay. Like there might be a 45-minute gym session, And then after the gym session, we'll have another
individual or coach.
No,
their coach there.
No, there was a coach there. Yeah. We have all sports, loads of coaches there. It was great facilities, great managers. We had the professional sports scientists there, and
Okay.
So we'll do a gym session, and then after that, I think we'll have about 45 minutes to ourselves, not to ourselves, but to ourselves. Do you understand? Where you don't want to be on your phone, but just to ourselves, chill out, relax our legs, and then we'll have a second session. Yeah, just depending on what we're working out. Maybe for the match on Saturday, or if it's pre-season, we'll have like a fitness session, which was fitness session, not a mess about. Do you know what I mean? Which was a fitness session. Yeah, and then finish, and then we'll have a shower, and then make sure all the cones and that have gone back in the storage room, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock, you leave the training ground.
So this was happening day in, day out, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, Monday to Friday. Maybe Friday we'll have quite a bit of a easier day because we've got a game on Saturday, so we might have a single session.
Okay.
Yeah, just maybe like prepare your doing set pieces and who's playing where, and the people that are not playing might have a bit of a more intense training session. Yeah, but Fridays, and then I forgot Thursday was a college day.
Okay.
Thursday was a college day, so to be fair, that was quite nice because it split up the week. Like a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people think, I can play football every day, but it does get quite intense, especially when you need to perform and you need to be at your best every day, day in, day out. It's not like you can go sleep at 2 o'clock and be like, I don't need to perform today anyway. You can't. It gets to about 10:30. You're thinking, oh my God, I need to get to bed because I need to perform tomorrow.
Yeah.
Every day is so intense.
Monitored, yeah.
It's just you're always monitored.
So in terms of your living arrangements at this stage, who are you in digs?
Yeah, I'm in digs.
Family, how's that?
Yeah, first year and second year school, I was in digs both years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that for you? Away from home, by yourself, with obviously by yourself, but not by yourself.
In one way, it was good because it was close. It was close to the training ground.
Of course.
So obviously everything's easy. Wake up, get to the training ground, easier than traveling an hour and a half to training every day.
Okay.
And it was.
I'm talking a little bit, not the football side. I'm talking now. You're coming from a close family.
Yeah.
Your mum, your dad, your brothers, you're all close, and now all of a sudden you're away from that.
Yeah. No, in that aspect, it was very difficult, and it's very difficult because say you've had a bad training session, like you go back to your dad and your mum, have dinner with them, and everything's just forgotten about, and you just chill, have dinner, and then you just prepare for the next day, and it's just just more relaxed. And any problem you've got, that's the first person you go to.
Yeah. Whereas now,
when you're at digs, you go home and you're just sleeping on it, and you think, I haven't performed today. What do I do about it? Whereas when you go home, you've got someone you've got your parents there. Even though the people at digs were great, obviously had some great people around me at digs. I was with Kyle Lieber, and he was at Charlton footballer for many years. So I was lucky in that aspect to have a footballer there, like living with a footballer and that. So in that aspect, it was good. I had great people, but still, your parents are your parents. Do you know what I mean? You never feel the same.
Of course.
Yeah, so in that aspect, what
are you doing? Are you calling home? Are you
always
maintaining some contact?
Yeah, always. I was very close, very family person. Like every time I'd have a bad day or something, not even about, even if I was happy, I could, but especially if I'd have had a bad performance, show on the phone to my dad, let him know, and he'd just tell me, listen, we move on to the next one.
To the next one.
Yeah.
Cool. So in the short time I've known you, big character. So it makes no surprise to me that you said that you were the actual captain.
Yeah.
But now you've worked hard to achieve a scholarship, and now you're the actual captain. Talk me through your emotions at this stage. Surely now you believe you're going to be a footballer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Believe that's it. I'm going to be a footballer.
What sort of captain were you?
I was do you know, I was very fair. But if I had to put you in your place, I will put you in your place. But that's only for your good. I was never a person to shout at you for no reason. Do you know, I'll shout at you because I wanted you to get better, and I wanted all my team around me to be better. And I was very, if someone had a problem or something, I would listen to them and try and help them. And I was really mature. Even though I was a first year scholar, second year scholar, I was very mature at the time.
Yeah.
And I was obviously, like you said yourself, a big character, big leader, always want to win, very talkative, always talking to people, asking them how they are. Telling people what they should do, what they shouldn't. Obviously, sometimes it's not for my place to say, but when I felt like it was right, I told someone, I say, look, I think you need to work on this. Same way as I would like people to tell me what I need to improve on.
Of course.
Because no one's perfect, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, massive. Like, I've always been a big leader, and as you see,
the captain of the under-18s as a first-year scholar.
Yeah.
Give us some of the names that were in this side that you're playing alongside or playing with.
Yeah, no, we had a few big players there. We had Joe Gomez had left at that time. We had Ezri Konsa, Ademola Lotman, which is at Fulham at the moment. Great player, great person as well, actually. Great person.
So these are the guys that you're going in with and you're mucking in, seeing every day, playing every day.
Every day.
The three names you've just mentioned there, we can turn on our TV screens now and they're playing Premiership football and doing
Definitely,
stuff. So your journey, first year scholars going well. You had an injury you told me about.
Yeah.
So how did that affect you potentially?
It was pre-season. We went to a camp. I can't remember what the camp was now, but yeah, I broke in training. I thought it was just a small injury. Like my toe was hurting, and I thought, do you know what? I'm just gonna take it easy and not train today. And then I remember going in the physio room, and the guy said to me, "I think you broke your toe, but you ain't gonna have an operation here." So I thought, yeah, you know what? It's not a big deal anyway. And I was out for 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. But in that 4 weeks, it was mental how things have changed. Like someone came in, which was Esby Konsa, come in, and he just kept his place. And I'm thinking, yeah, I've got time to get in. But in that 4 weeks, like you said earlier, I mean, you've always had this chat. One game could change everything. So imagine what 4 weeks can do. But you're not thinking that at the time. You're thinking, I've got loads of time to recover and come back strong. Mm-hmm. But yeah, come in, found it hard to get back in the team. But then I think that like with me being such a leader, like it was always crucial for them to have me playing. Mm. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously, good technical player as well. But with me being like just the leader of the team, it was just mass. Like it was like something was missing there with me not being in the team.
When you weren't around.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were definitely bringing something to the table.
Definitely.
So we're in the second year now. Now, obviously, I know in the modern day, some players are getting scholarships and a pro attached to it. So sometimes say, I've got a 2-year scholar and a 1-year pro and all this stuff going on. You've obviously just got your 2-year scholar. So as the second year, as we're deep into the second year, you know, what sort of feedback, you talked about reports and feedback and stuff. So at what stage are you thinking they're going to talk to me about my next stage now or my next step or how that's going to work? What was the second year like?
I felt much more relaxed in the second year because the youngest came in and I felt even more of a leader at the time because I thought, you know what you're doing now is what I've already done, so I can help you get the team together and obviously I didn't even what you said earlier. That didn't even cross my mind because I was captain at the time. I thought pro was coming my way anyway, so I wasn't even thinking when are they going to tell me, when's that going to come out. I just thought, you know what, one day I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to sign a pro because I'm their captain.
You're the captain of the
captain playing well because. If you're not playing well, you'd be sat on the bench anyway. Of course. And everyone knows that's how football goes. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're not playing well, you are going to be sat on the bench.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Until you get till you get yourself back together. And I thought, at the time, I just thought, I'm going to be a pro. Yeah. I remember telling my mates, captain of the team, and one day I'll be leaving tickets for you to come and watch me. Yeah, like just telling them, like, I'm going to be a pro at Charlton, definitely.
So in this season, you said the team made it all the way to the League Two, playoffs and finals, and Brentford, and
we won the league. Our final game was. Do you know what? I'll never forget this. I still got pictures of it. I'll never forget. Our final game was against Crystal Palace, and we won the league. It was obviously a big thing for us. Do you know what I mean? We won the league, lifted the trophy, really happy, and then we went into the playoffs. But we've never won that. I think we got to semi-finals, but we never won it.
So football, just to explain to the viewers, football's quite regional at this stage. Yeah. So you've won your regional table, and now all the winners are in a sort of playoff to see who's the actual national champion.
National champion. So I think I can't remember who we played in the semi, but we won that, and then we got through to the final. And then when we got through to the final, I remember we're taking the coach. No one knows the team yet. Like no one's aware, and it was quite strange because we always knew the team the day before. Okay. Whereas this time around, it was such a big game for us. Nothing was given out. So I remember one the coach going to the hotel, and we're having a bit of lunch, and then we go into the meeting room, and the big telly's on, and my name's on the subs. I'm absolutely gutted. I thought like at the time I would never do that now because I'll just be professional about it, but be like, you know what, I'm gonna prove a point when I come on. But at the time I was thinking, you know what, I don't even want to be on the bench. I remember telling the director, get me off that bench, like get me off there. I don't even want to play this game. And he's gone, what? And then as we're eating our lunch, we've gone back upstairs eating, like all food's ready for us and that. And he's gone to me, are you ready for this game? I went, of course I'm not, I'm on the bench. Like I'm absolutely gutted at the time. I'm gutted. I thought this is the biggest game like we've ever played. And then I've gone, I'm not going to play this, that. And he's gone, you ready? But then we've come out. Anyway, that's happened. 2 hours later, we're changing. I'm just there getting changed slowly, not really interested. And then come into warming up. And then as I'm warming up with the, you know, like when you warm up with the subs. Yeah. Looking at my old man, I can see my old man. There's quite a few people watching the game as well. Like obviously we've had loads of crowds anyway, so I'm quite used to it. I see my old man up in the stands, I wave at him and this and that. And then just something told me I'm going to start this game. And then the director calls me over, no names, shouts me over. So I go over, giving it a little slow jog, like, I'm not even interested. What do you want to tell me? So he goes over, he goes, one of our players is injured. He goes, in the warm-up. So I've turned around, look, no one's injured. And he's gone, you're gonna start centre off. I've gone, so do you mind telling me who's injured? Because at the time I'm absolutely fuming, like, I should have started this anyway. Why has it took someone to get injured for me to come on when I've played every other game to get here? And he's gone, you're starting. So I thought, you know what, this is a massive opportunity to me just to show people what I'm going to do. Yeah,
of course.
Get in the change room, he goes, look, this player who's injured, Sev's starting. Captain's armband. I remember in my head, I'm thinking, I don't even want the captain's armband now. I just want to show you who I am. And then, anyway, captain's armband, put it on, walked out the tunnel. I remember me and Esri Consta centre-halves, came out, started playing, and then played really well that game. I remember it was just like from the get-go. Yeah. I remember the ball came to me, hitting a diag or something, and straight away, you just feel like you're going to have a good game.
In the game, yeah, of course.
So, winning headers, this, that. And I remember, got the goal, and then we won the game.
So you scored the goal?
Yeah, and it was the first time we've ever lifted that trophy.
National trophy.
Okay. And I had a massive smile on my face, but I was still gutted because me, like, I don't let things slide. Obviously, now, at the time, I'm young. And I'm just like, I'm not going to let this one slide. Obviously, now I've got no choice. I have to let it slide because I need to move on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. At the time, I'm thinking, I'm gutted. And that was it. And that was our last final game, and I was released. And I was captain of our final game, and I was not one of their professional players.
So you fast forwarded there. So when did this information that you, who had been at the club from 8 years old, all the way through to a second-year scholar, so you're now 18, at what stage did this football club say to you, Sevdar, we're not going to have a professional place for you?
It was 3 weeks before that game. I remember sitting down with my dad, and he said to me, he sat there and he looked at me in the eyes and he went, don't think we're going to give you a professional contract. And I went, what do you mean you don't think? If if you're not going to give me one, you're not, I don't think. So I've gone, all right, took it in the chin.
Who says this?
The academy director.
So you're in a meeting.
Yeah, in a meeting, with my dad. I was shocked, I went in there thinking I want to sign a pro, and I was absolutely shocked. And he's gone, I don't think we're going to give you a professional contract, and that's just hit me. And I've gone straight away. I remember responding to him, going, "Give me a reason why. I need to know why. What I need to improve on for my next club." And he hasn't given me a reason. And since this day, I've never had a reason why I've been released from Charlton. Obviously, there was rumours about, we need 6'5" and whatnot, this and that. We need 6'5" centre halves. So
I just want to get this clear because I can't quite get my head around it. You've been at a football club for practically 10 years of your life. 10 years, yeah. You've had reports. You would have had half-term reports, weekly reports, fortnightly reports, definitely would have had yearly reports. And it's taken rumours to tell you that potentially you're not tall enough or they're looking for a certain structure of centre halves. But in the whole 10 years you were there, nowhere in the lead up to that did they insinuate that this might be a problem and potentially try and help you play another position. So it's just come to you in this meeting with the director, we're not giving you a contract, X, Y, Z. Is that what you're trying to tell me the picture was?
Exactly what's happened. And backing myself up on that, I reckon the reason why they've never changed my position is because I've never been caught out. I've never got come up against a 6'4" striker and been smashed up with 2 headers up. So they've never changed my position. I reckon if I've gone in and I've got beat up to every head and that, they might have said, you know what, you're a bit too short here. Can you get to play for number 4? But because I've never been caught out, they've never dealt with it in any other way. So then come to signing a pro, they've just gone, he just said to me, look, don't think we're going to give you a pro. And then I just remember looking at my dad and I just felt like flipping. I've let my whole family down there. And that, to be fair, that was the first thing that came into my mind. I wasn't even thinking about myself at the time. I just looked at my dad and I thought, I've let my dad down, I let my mum down, my brothers, everyone around me. I've just let them all down, thinking, I'm definitely going to have a pro here. Do you know what I mean? And it just hit me.
Emotionally, we've heard stories recently, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely.
The player at Man City taking his life when he was released, and the levels of depression some of the players can go to when they've built themselves up to be a professional footballer doesn't happen for them. you're acting quite casual about it now, but we're 6 years down the line. How did you feel on that car journey going home? Your whole life's almost just been devastated by this conversation.
I think that was the happiest car journey because we won, but the worst drive ever with my dad. And I just remember my dad looking at me in the eyes and saying to me, football is not everything in life. He said to me, football is not everything. He said, you're always going to make it. You're a leader. You always make it in life. But I just, to be fair, it went through one year and came out the other because that's all I knew was football. And like you said, unfortunately, some devastating news have come out about young players. And I've always said, even when I first met you, Manny, I've always said that's where I think I can be have a great impact on people's like young players' lives because I've been there step by step and something's been taken away from me. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like I've been prepared to get released. Something has just been taken away from me.
Exactly.
This is where I feel like I got a big role to play within these young players and them not knowing what the next step in or them not realizing that there is a potential of you getting released.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's how do you take it? Because when you was born, you wasn't born to just play football.
Of course.
All these things you hear about, he was born to play football. No, it's not right. You've trained to become that footballer. Mm-hmm. So now you're not a footballer. You can be trained to become anything else you want. So your life hasn't ended. This is the start of a new life. Do you know what I mean?
But this is where, and there's loads of conversations going on around this topic, this is where we talk about how much can football clubs do to help. And this is why I'm saying, and I'm still flabbergasted now, and it's probably going to come out in parts of this interview. It's almost negligent for a football club to have you in there for 10 years and not build you up about this potential problem that they must have known about.
Yeah.
They didn't wait till you was 18 to say, we at Charlton like 6'5" centre halves or whatever the case may be. So they would have known somewhere along your journey, Sev's not going to be 6'5".
Of course.
Sev's not going to be that centre half that fits our model. So what are we going to do for Sev? Somebody had to surely take responsibility there. And I hear too many of these stories where it's like, it's just left. And then we release him and then he gets an exit trial and hopefully another club picks him up. But I think that is such a missed opportunity for that football club to look after somebody that's committed 10 years to them.
Yeah, definitely. And especially when that's all he knows is Charlton. So surely I think there's managers and clubs that should be doing way more for people that are going to get released after training with someone for 10 years and all of a sudden they're not there anymore. Even waking up and just, when you walk into a training ground and you can just smell the aroma of the place.
Of course,
and all of a sudden you wake up and you just can't smell that anymore.
It's a relationship.
Even things like that. Like just forget the football side at the moment. Even little things like that and not having that in your life anymore. And that's all you know. And going back to the friends, it's like waking up, you've been at a club 10 years, you see your mate down the road, he goes, Charlton guy, and you go, not there anymore. And it takes a big character to tell someone that. And lucky enough, I've always had that.
Of course.
And I've always been brave enough to tell my mates I'm not there anymore. Do you know what I mean? And I need to move on. And I feel like I'm going to come back and obviously I'm enjoying my football at the moment now.
Okay.
And I feel like I can play a decent level.
So there's a gap here, and I want to fill in the gap for the viewers.
No problem.
So there's an exit trial. Obviously, that's the one thing professional clubs have to do.
An
exit trial for you to try and showcase yourself, see if anyone else is interested. How did that go for you?
Yeah, I just wasn't interested, to be honest. Went to the exit trial and just wasn't interested.
As in, how soon after your release was that game?
Do you know what? I'm not 100% sure about it. I think it might have been about 3 weeks. Even I've had teams come in for me, even in conferences. I think there was a team in League 2. I can't remember who, Plymouth. I can't remember who it was at the time. But I just wasn't interested. Charlton was part of my life, and everything was set up and going into these lower teams, and not having you said me and you've always had a chat about this. Facilities were different and not the greatest. Changing rooms and not even being able to leave your boots there because you have to take them home with you and simple things like that. I just wasn't interested. But
so I just want to just to put it up, you had a mentor. You mentioned you had a mentor whilst you were at Charlton.
Yeah.
This is part of the mentorship now, preparing you for potentially what might happen. Because a lot of the stuff you're talking about, and we've talked about this before, is we're talking about ego here now.
Yeah.
I've been at Charlton, a borderline Prem club, Championship club. Yeah. There's a League 2 club interested in me that's going to take me on and help me on my journey. But I've been at Charlton. I don't want to go down there.
Yeah.
But at that point, you need someone advising you that, you know what, Sev? don't look at it this way. You might have to take 2 steps back to take 4 steps forward.
Yeah.
So Dad's not really, you said he's not really into the mechanics of contracts and how it works. Do you think there that this is where potentially having an agent around you might have helped you?
Yeah, at that time, massive. Well, like you said, massively, because for any young player, you get released from the club, you have to be playing. And I'm saying that now because obviously like, I'm 24 at the moment, and even now, like, I just realised, what was I thinking? If I just gone, you know what, I'm gonna go and join that team, go and join the likes of Plymouth or Exeter or whatever, just go and join them, play football, love the game. Even if it's for the under 23s, you know what I mean? And because when you're playing, you're in the market. When you're not playing, no one knows who you are anymore.
You are.
But I wasn't interested. But now, that's why now I'm eager. I'm eager to play and show people why I was captain. Because a lot of people say, how would you? I want to show you why I was captain for 10 years.
Okay.
Do you know, because being captain for 10 years don't happen by accident.
Of course.
Don't care what any big manager, chairman, whatever can come up to me and be like, that was an accident. You can be captain for a year and someone could turn around, that's an accident. You've got to be like, fair enough. But being captain for 10 years is not an accident. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm just...
And obviously this will go out and it'll be interesting if some of the people who were around Charlton when you were there, because it's quite... You know, and we're not saying to them, you know, they're in their rights to release you, whatever their thoughts, but it'll be interesting for someone to say, how did someone that you respected enough to give them the captain armband for so many years was still not deemed good enough to represent you later on? So we'll come to that. You spent some time in Sweden.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that at the next stage?
Yeah, that was when I remember when I went to the exit trial, I was not interested. And then I think I took about 2 weeks off.
As in what?
Like just 2 weeks completely off. I was chilling at home. Like just, I remember I wasn't even running on nothing at the time, and got a phone call and just like, listen, there's a team interested in you in Sweden. Should I go and play for them? And that was it. Flipping out. A week later, I was on that plane straight over to Stockholm. Trained straight to the training ground. And that was it. I was there playing Sweden. Started off really well.
Yeah.
Remember first training session, flipping out. The manager was really impressed. Leader. Even at a young age, I was such a young age. There was players there that are 25, 26, but still, I just banged something to the table. Do you know what I mean? I was there.
So here we go. Charlton stories come to an end.
Yeah.
You've gone abroad, potentially to kickstart your career.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Just a bit. I think with going abroad, it's just just that keyword freedom. Freedom is what messed me up over there. No parents, no dad, mum to talk to, brothers, this, that. Just you're by yourself. So you feel like you can do what you want, go out when you want, and that's what let me down over there. Because I remember the first 4 weeks, I started off so well, starting every game, doing well. I remember actually scoring, and I think something came up on Sky Sports of me scoring, and I sent it over to my brother. I was like, I just scored a goal, like, no, do you know what I mean? Yeah. This and that and everything, and my dad was buzzing. And then I learned a few more places over there. Like you will say, every young person makes mistakes, and I started going out a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Going out with my friends.
But you say freedom, and I want to pull you up because for the first time in this interview, I think, and without being disrespectful, I think the word excuse is coming to my head. Yeah. Because you said already when you was a scholar, you were in digs by yourself, you had an element of freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
So you've really kind of been through that. So, and you were still disciplined enough to do your football and be on football. So going to Sweden and having freedom, I would have thought you should know how to deal with that.
Yeah, you know what? The one thing that I forgot to tell you was in digs, you had to be home by 9:30.
So there was still a curfew.
Yeah. So that's what I missed out on. You have to be home at, like, you can go out, have a drink, whatnot, this and that, but you have to be home at 9:30.
Right. Whereas here
is, listen, you're a big man.
Of course.
You're a professional player. Like, you do what you need to do. Had a decent apartment, company car, like, do you know what I mean? Car from the club.
Yeah.
That was it. Just thought, I'm having fun, young, but not really. But I think, do you know what? A big part still had to play with me getting released from Charlton. Like, I still had that hurt inside me.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? I still had that. Let me enjoy myself because I've been broken, like basically broken.
And this is the rebound relationship.
Like it's just like I'm going to Sweden, and there's weeks where I'm so dedicated, and there's weeks where I'm thinking, what am I doing here? I should be at Charlton. Do you know what I mean? And just having the contrast of both of them, and that's what really hit me. Maybe if I was out there with my parents or something, or just even bring one of my brothers out there with me, maybe I'd have been somewhere else today. Do you know what I mean? Maybe would have carried on playing professionally. And
So Sweden lasts how long?
I think Sweden, I was there for about 6-7 months, something like that. Yeah.
It's not worked out in the end.
Just wasn't playing towards the end again. Like, well, I wasn't ever like used to not playing, so I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to stay out in a different country and not play. Yeah, and
you end up coming home.
Had a 6-month contract over there that ended up coming home.
Okay,
and then that's when I lost complete like love for the game. That was just a stop on everything, and I thought, flipping hell. And that's when I was talking about not even interested in even watching football at the point, like because it used to hurt me so much, and not necessarily watching other players play, because I was still happy for everyone, like making it like the likes of all the players I used to play with. I used to see them and be like, you know what, I'm buzzing, you've got a contract, because it's hard to get there. So I appreciate what they've done to get there.
And it's important, just to bring up there, it's important what you say there, because I've got a mate who, and I think I spoke to you before, who at the time then couldn't even watch Match of the Day anymore, because all he's doing when he's watching Match of the Day is watching 5 or 6 players that he was in the same changing room with, he was mucking in with, and had to turn on the TV and see they're continuing their career at such a high level, and he was at the game. That became too much. So yes, he was proud of them and still felt good feelings towards them, but it was still burning him inside that he wasn't there. Yeah. So did something similar happen with you in terms of when you say you just fell out of love?
Yeah, no, obviously a bit similar, but not towards the players. You know I was more happy for the players making it, because everyone was dreaming it to make it. So
of course, just
like the way I would have loved to made it, I'm happy they've made it. Do you know what I mean? But it was more the fact of I'm not playing, so I'm not even interested in watching this game, because like even watching, like, do you know what, even watching something so simple like someone hitting the diag, I used to miss it so much, and I thought I don't even want to watch this because I miss it so much.
Yeah,
and then I stopped playing for really do you know what, even when I stopped playing, I still had a few like calls up, look, come play here, come play at decent level, like not any of this joke, like decent level, like I think it was a couple teams in the Ryman Prem, a few teams in the Conference, but just again, like I said, I wasn't interested. Like, it just, that was it was done.
So football's come to a sort of end. What are you going to do with your life now? What was you thinking? What's going to happen work-wise?
I just thought, do you know what? I thought, you know what? I'm going to go into uni and just still like do sports science or something, or like just become a PE teacher or something, because I've always loved the fact of working with kids and playing football and teaching. But then I was going to apply for uni. That didn't work out, and then I thought, you know what? I just started working. But what trade?
When you say working, what did you get into?
Yeah, I got into construction.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, like a couple of my people that were in there were into it as well. Got into construction, started working it, had to do what I had to do to get a living out. Do you know what I mean? Like, just pay the bills, because at this age, I'm 22, 23, like, need to make money to live.
Money now,
you know what I mean? I'm not young anymore. Like, and then, but now that I think about it, like, I think I've just, and then that happened, and then obviously one of the teammates at Enfield, one of my teammates, Ali, have joined the club, and he's rang me, he said, I'm joining Enfield. I've gone, I said, you know what? I said, local team. I said, I'll come and play as well and get myself fit, started training. I remember I was going on a few runs, and I remember coming down to Rayners Lane to watch you lot.
Yeah.
And I saw the chairman Marvin. I was like, Marvin, like, I remember seeing Marvin at Charlton a few times. And
so Marvin, for the viewers, is the chairman of Enfield Borough, but in terms of your story, Marvin was quite close with you whilst you was at Charlton. He even took you to this exit game we're talking about. He was the one that actually took you down there. So you've had a previous relationship with Marvin. So coming potentially to play for his football club.
Yeah.
To help you back on your journey.
Yeah, especially
seemed to make sense.
Especially like me not being interested in football, like going to someone that owns a club and knowing him. Like, it felt good, like I felt relaxed. I thought, you know what, I can actually come to training and actually enjoy myself.
Okay.
And I remember having a word with you that day, and obviously Marvin was professional about it. I remember him saying that day, you got to talk to the managers about it. I'm the chairman, I don't deal with that, I leave it to the managers. I said, you know what, I respect that, that's professional. And straight away in my head I thought it's a professional club, because any other chairman would have gone, oh, you was at Charlton, come. But he's actually turned around and gone, you know what, you need to speak to the managers about it. I was having a laugh with him at the game and that, and then I come and speak to you and I said, oh, look, can I come and train on? I didn't mention Charlton and that because that's just out of the way. I need to get over it. And I thought that's the first time I actually felt good about myself. I thought, I'm not going to mention Charlton. I let my feet do the talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So I came training Thursday, and it was just, I was talking to you about this earlier. I've gone training a few times with non-league teams, just to, like, with my mates, but it's not the set, like everyone thinks like it's so serious. Obviously serious because they want to win, but I can't chat to them. Obviously Enfield just made me feel comfortable. And like I said, I've even messaged that time after that game, just made me start loving the game again. And even like from the point, like when you're walking out the change room and you can hear the sounds of the studs against like the concrete. I thought, you know what I love. This is what I love. Like
about them good memories. In terms of ego, like you say, you know, one of the things that really strikes me about you is it would be hard to put that to one side, because it would only take a little incident to happen. Something the other day, you didn't get picked to start a game, not your fault, but you were late, and you know, because the car broke down and so on. It was definitely, your chest could come out and say, "Come on, man, I've been, you know where I've been. I've got to be playing in this game," you know. But you just mucking in and just the ego is not there, and I think that's going to go a long way to propelling you back to where you need to be. But just to go back onto family, how's mum, how's dad, how's brothers now? Because they've invested a lot of time in your journey. They've committed a lot of time. How did they view you and football and the whole disappointment? And
now me being 24 and more mature, and I just realized what my dad has done for me. And I always say, I don't tell him this, but inside me I always say I am going to repay him. And I think the way to repay him is not money, because money is not anything. I think me just having enough, like me having Bokciu in the back of my shirt again would make him the happiest person, because he knows I've got the talent. He just knows I need to be right in here.
Right there.
And I am now at the age of 19, 20. I'd have come in and gone, hey Manny, why am I not starting?
Of course.
Like absolutely fuming. Come in the change room and be gutted. But I've gone, you know what, let me show you what I'm made of when I do come on.
Yeah, of course.
I remember I think it was 3-0 down, and I said, do you remember me shouting out, "Hey Manny, this ain't over"?
Exactly.
Do you remember? And I knew it had to take someone a bit more older, and because obviously our team's a young team full of potential. But I remember saying to you, "Hey Manny, do you remember me saying to you, Manny, this ain't over? I know it's 3-0, but this is not over." And I remember you saying to me, "Sev, it's not over." And got in the change room, came on, flipping hell, we were so close, goal short, 4-3 at the end, but could have been a different game, obviously, if that incident didn't happen, obviously due to the car and that, but I don't need that. He's at his age now. He's happy with what he's got. He's obviously, older brother's married.
Okay.
Like younger brother's still young. Me, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I've got a job. Obviously, now I want to get into the footballing side, and I want to work with players, and do you know what I mean? But I think that would make my dad the happiest, having Bokciu in the back of my shirt again. Even if that's conference, Ryman Prem, anything, just having my name, him coming every Saturday watching me. That's how I can repay him.
Yeah, of course. And in terms of that, being at a club like Enfield, that is all about regenerating players. So someone like you is almost the perfect example of what that club's about, because you've got a history, a very big history. Now you just need to now be playing consistently, get your groove back on, and I think you can kick on 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. Who knows how high the ceiling is? There's been many stories, Jamie Vardy, DJ Campbell, so many stories of players going back into the game at the age of 23, 24 late. So it's never too late.
Yeah, no, it's never.
You've had the experience, you've been there. All you need to do is just find yourself again, and I think you're in the right place to do that. Yeah,
that's all. You just took the words out of my mouth. I think like coming back into the game all depends on where your first step is, and Enfield is the perfect step to come back into the game. Like as you can see in training, we're serious, but we also have a laugh. Everyone enjoys their time here, trains. Everyone's professionally, like I said earlier, like even from the time the chairman said to me, look, talk to the managers, letting the managers do their job. And I think this is the perfect setup. Obviously, Enfield know what they're going to get from me. They know what they're going to get 100% from me.
So two things I want you to sort of end with, 2 messages. One message is to a club like Charlton, so not to Charlton, but to professional football clubs. What do you think they could do differently? I've got my own opinions on this, by the way. I want to see from your point of view. If you could go in that time machine and go back, what would you have liked Charlton to have done slightly different for you?
Yeah, I think a couple of things they could have done different. Well, there's many. Everyone's got different opinions, like you said. But
if you could pick that one thing that you think,
I think one of them is realizing that not everyone's background is from the footballing background. So, like Charlton's a massive club, and the directors know all about football. So if you know that I'm not going to be the right height, or like you was talking about earlier, why not help me and say, look, go down to a couple leagues lower and play number 4, but help me with that, because maybe you're going to prepare. There's people's parents out there that don't even know what the Premiership is. They don't even talk. You can mention the Championship team out to them, and they'll say, who's that? So knowing that them parents don't have a clue about football, but the kid loves it and he wants to be a professional, that's where they come in.
So the message is more, if you see at an early stage, I'm a good player, but I might not meet the right attributes. You're saying there's more that can be done at that stage to help me find another position potentially, or find another opportunity elsewhere.
Definitely. Or even helping, like, even actually, because not being funny, any club, a team like Charlton, right? It takes one phone call to take me to a conference team. Look, Sev, go there 6 months, and just helping me with that. Not going, you know what, you release, you find your own club now. Because I think a lot of clubs, what the problem is with them is once they release you, they don't want to be proven wrong. So they don't want to help you, because the minute you find a club, they're going, we've just got rid of him and he's signed to a team now. But it shouldn't work like that. You've looked after someone for 10 years, part of the furniture. Help him. He's young. He's 80. I think football clubs don't realise. I know there's 17-year-olds playing in the Prem, but they don't realise how young them players actually are. They don't even know what the real world is. I know they're on big money, this, that, but they don't even know. If you release that 17-year-old tomorrow, he don't even know what the real world is out there. So I think that's
because so much has been done for them.
For them, yeah. Just like teaching people this how the actual real world is, and helping with them with that sense. You know what I mean?
Okay. And then the other message I want you is to potential players who could be in the system, or potential players dying to get into the system. What are some of the key messages to look out for?
Do you know what? I've always been a strong believer. I see kids out there trying. I think you just don't put pressure on yourself. Like, I know a lot of people say do this, do that, but I think I see a few kids training at the park and like near my local recently, and they're working every day. And I've gone, do you know how important resting is? I said, do you ever rest? He goes to me, no, we just train. I said, you don't understand how fatigued you are. You're going to games fatigued and you don't even realise. I think kids just, at a young age, I think you just need to let your football, just play football, just enjoy it first. Don't even think about all the nice cars and that what comes with it. Do you know what I mean? I think you just got to enjoy it. And then whatever happens. And if you're good enough, you will get picked. Do you know what I mean? I think people just need to be given less pressure. And that's where we're talking about them devastated, like things that have just happened in football recently with them 2 incidents, because they're just so under pressure of making it.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like that. Just enjoy football.
So that's a great message for those trying to get in, overworking, putting pressure. What about those that are in? Because I still think you've got a message for those. Because your message was, I was at a club for 10 years. Yeah. They didn't prepare me for what they were actually going to do. They didn't prepare me. They made me believe I was here. They gave me the captain armband, all of this stuff. So for players that are even signed in the academies, what sort of things, what message have you got for someone in there?
The only message I've got for them is don't take for granted what you have. And I didn't realise what I had until this day. I think flipping now, under-8s, going training, being given this, that. I said, do you want this? Here's this, here's that. Food, boots, everything. And just don't take it for granted, because there's so many kids out there that want to be in your position. So once you got it, you've got to keep hold of it.
Sev, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
This has been a great story. This has been your truth.
Thank you very much.